Now I'll invite you to get in a comfortable position for the spoken word. If you want to see me, make sure you're on speaker view for our sermon. Unitarian Universalists are a covenantal religion. And what that means is that we agree on how to behave with each other without having a creed or dogma that unites us in a single belief. Simply put, this means that we don't have one sacred text or scripture that is the foundational core of our religion. The beauty of our religion is that we don't have one sacred text. We have many, many to draw upon. Some Unitarian Universalists agree with the quote from Bertrand Russell, who says, "Beware of the man of the single book." Throughout UU history, we have moved to the rhythms of mystery and wonder, prophecy, wisdom, teachings from ancient and modern sources, and nature herself. These themes comprise the sources from which we draw strength and support. Now, in addition to our 7 principles, we draw upon 6 sources. In our gray hymnal here, at the very beginning, you will read that the living tradition draws from many sources, direct experience, that transcending mystery and wonder affirmed in all cultures, which moves us to a renewal of the spirit and an openness to the forces which create and uphold life. Second, words and deeds of prophetic people, which challenge us to confront the powers and structures of evil. Also, wisdom from the world's religions, which inspire us in ethical and spiritual life. Next, Jewish and Christian teachings which call us to respond to God's love by loving our neighbors as ourselves. We also draw from the source of humanist teachings, which counsel us to heed the guidance of reason and the results of science. And last, spiritual teachings of earth-centered traditions, which celebrate the sacred circle of life. Now, let's consider what the words mean living tradition. Our religious tradition is alive. It grows, it changes, it matures, it makes turns, it accommodates the increasing knowledge gained by humankind, and it reflects upon itself to its meaning and purpose. Unitarian Universalism is alive and is a living tradition. Accordingly, we believe there are many ways and many approaches to the holy. We draw from many sources to help us find a way to a meaningful life. One of my sources of inspiration, one of my sacred texts, is the writings of Rainer Maria Rilke. For me, a sacred text contains words that are true and profound across the generations. Words that provide perspective and insight in times of trouble. Words that provide a compass with which to navigate life. Now, Rilke wrote the Book of Hours between 1899 and 1903, and I find today's poem uplifting in a time of crisis. But like many sacred texts, a passage often benefits from analysis and criticism, and I'll give you mine. Go to the Limits of Your Longing by Rilke. God speaks to us as he makes us, then walks with us silently out of the night. These are the words we dimly hear. These first 3 lines convey that we are not alone. Whatever created us, that love, that energy, that force is still walking with us, walking beside us, silently. But we're too busy to notice or hear the words cast in our direction. The creative force is beside us, even when we pay no attention to it. The next lines. You Send out beyond your recall. Go to the limits of your longing. Embody me. You come from a holy source, but you don't remember. Yet you must still go to the limits of your longing. Your inner moral compass provides your direction in life. Are you paying attention to it? Do you hold yourself back with assorted excuses from what you truly desire in life? Go to the limits of your longing. Embody me. Embody the life force, the spirit of life that put you here. This is your calling. Embody the spirit of life as you go to the limits of your longing. You are not alone. Next lines. Flare up like a flame and make big shadows I can move in. Live your life with action and words that are the change you want for the world. Flare up so the life force within you can manifest the greatest good for all. Make big shadows so you are sharing your love with multitudes. The next two lines for me are truly sacred. Let everything happen to you, beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final. Life is full of beauty and terror. There's no escaping this truth. We can do everything we can think to run and hide from it, to numb it, to deny it, to pretend and make it seem like only beauty exists. But hiding and denying are destructive. Let everything happen. Embrace the entirety of life, the bitter and the sweet, the pain and the joy, the births and the deaths. Just keep going. No feeling is final. What would calm and peace be without chaos and anxiety? If we spend our entire lives happy, would we even understand what it means to be happy? Don't get me wrong, I love happiness. I just don't think it's the only point of life. There's no beautiful painting without the white canvas behind and in between the brushstrokes. Stars cannot shine without a dark, empty universe between them. Yes, life sometimes is very difficult. Life can be horrible, but every event is just part of the package. Let everything happen to you. Just keep going. No feeling is final. Next lines. Don't let yourself lose me. Nearby is the country they call life, and you will know it by its seriousness. Give me your hand. Don't separate yourself from the love that surrounds us all. Don't lose your connection to the holy force that is the basis of your life, of all life, of everything. Yes, life is tough and often serious, but you are never alone. But you must reach out. To stay connected, you must exert some vulnerability. Give me your hand. Alan Watts, he tells us that we all have a guru. It is life. Life is our guru. In the Zen tradition, a guru will give students koans. And a koan is just a bunch of words that are a paradoxical anecdote or a riddle that at face value makes no sense. But a koan contains insightful and enlightening messages. It's used in Zen Buddhism to demonstrate the inadequacies of logical reasoning, because logical reasoning stands as a barrier to enlightenment. A koan is a barrier, and a guru will put up barriers in front of students by giving them koans to work through. And the students advance by negotiating the barriers. Life is a guru, and our experiences are our koans. When you are utterly bewildered by life's events, when you are confused and frustrated, when tragedy overcomes you, I say that life has given you a koan, and it is your task to work through it. Go to the limits of your longing. Let everything happen to you, beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final. Give me your hand. May we all hear and heed the sacred words, because during the toughest times, we must not be deaf to the calling to our higher purpose. By just keep going and knowing that no feeling is final, I will survive. You will survive. We will survive.